So will the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits get lost in a political tug of war? Sanju Verma, BJP's spokesperson, Salman Soz, Congress spokesperson, also from the valley. Sushant Dhar is a Kashmiri Pandit. Appreciate all of you joining us. Before I come to the politicians, I want to come to you, Sushant. We have seen many Kashmiri Pandits protesting, striking for over a month now. Many of them claim government employees have not got their salaries. Many of them saying they have not got the safety they were promised. How do you respond when you see the situation on the ground? Do you have faith in these political parties or not?
Rajdeep, political parties across the country have used the tragedy of Kashmiri Pandits, unfortunately, for their political gains, be it BJP or be it Congress. Unfortunately, Kashmiri Pandit employees who have been struggling, battling on the roads for the past 260 days, almost a year now, protesting for their life. What is their demand? They are demanding government to address their safety and security concerns. They are demanding right that comes under the Constitution of India. But the LG administration, instead of security employees, it's forcing them to join back in the valley.
So you're saying that the basic core demands, particularly of the Kashmiri Pandit employees in the valley, have not been met. Sanju Verma, you want to respond before I come to Salman Soz? Because the BJP has said, look, we have the interests of Kashmiri Pandits at heart. The fact is, many of them have been striking since May last year and still claim their demands were not met. Many of them met Rahul Gandhi saying the BJP government made various promises, none of which have been met.
You know, Rajdeep, much as I would not like to politicize the rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits, I will not shy away from some hard facts that need to be told. Point number one, I think, for the last so many decades and for the longest time, there was not even a debate or a discussion on the horrific 1990 genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, as in Kashmiri Pandits. I think in the last 2-3 years, the fact that we've taken cognizance of the problem, I think that's the start. Because to be able to find a solution to a problem, you first need to take cognizance that the problem indeed exists.
Sanju Verma, in 2014 Lok Sabha manifesto, BJP said return of Kashmiri Pandits to the land of their ancestors with full dignity, security and assured livelihood. We are 8 years later. It's 8 years.
Can I finish?
No, how long are they going to wait?
Can I finish? Rajdeep Sardesai, can I finish?
Yes.
It's my turn to speak.
Please.
You can heckle me after I'm done. Thank you. Let me now, say a couple of things. I think the best way to rehabilitate Pandits who, due to brutal, rabid Islamists, had to flee the valley. I will not even go into the gory details of, BK Ganju or Tikalal Taklu or Girija Tikku. I have this to say, that I think the big problem in the valley is not the fact that Article 370 has been abrogated. If you show me 10 people talking to Rahul Gandhi, I can tell you there are hundreds and thousands of people, including Kashmiri Pandits, who feel that abrogation of Article 370 is the best decision taken in the last 70 or 75 odd years to bring normalcy to the valley. And I will say this, that the reason why we are seeing the kind of lone wolf attacks that we continue to see is because politicians like Rahul Gandhi, politicians like Farooq Abdullah, Omar Abdullah, politicians from the Congress, ilk, they provide intellectual cover fire to terrorists. Tell me one thing, when an ML Bindro is attacked, or when, a Supinder Kaur or a Deepak Chand are profiled as Hindus and then shot in cold blood, have you ever seen any of the leaders from Kashmir Valley condemning the rabid Islamists who are behind this attack?
Now Sanju Verma, you must get your facts right. Farooq Abdullah, among others, was the first to condemn many killings, as do all within the valley. You see, we must stop spreading lies. We must stop spreading lies. Sanju Verma, on sensitive issues, do not spread lies. You must stop these lies. You spread lies on the basis of sensitive issues. Salman Soz, however, please put her audio down. Salman Soz, the question comes on Article 370. There Sanju Verma claims that it's all very well for Rahul Gandhi to say I'm reaching out to Kashmiri Pandits, but the belief is that Article 370, according to the BJP, was an issue which was a major concern. That's been removed. And therefore, Kashmiri Pandits feel that they have a government they can dialogue with. They don't feel a sense of separateness, which they felt earlier.
Well, first of all, Rajdeep, I don't really want to get into a tutu meme with Sanju. I think she said everything except she didn't talk about the real issue. The real issue is with our fellow panelist. The real issue is about this delegation of Kashmiri Pandits, and not just the delegation of Kashmiri Pandits, by the way. Kashmiri Pandits who are protesting, I mean, not just these 10 people. There are so many people who are protesting, have been protesting for more than 200 days. And what are they protesting about? What is the immediate, there are many issues that they have, many genuine issues that they have. But the proximate issue is the following, that there is great insecurity for them in the valley. The government has failed to provide the kind of security that would allow them to live their lives freely. And
but that insecurity is not, with due regard, that insecurity is not something post-2014. You see,
no, it's not. No, I understand. But what I'm saying is, then once that insecurity comes in, what should a reasonable person do? A reasonable person says, I'm going to protect my family and myself, and I'm going to go to Jammu and say, okay, I'll stay there for some time till the situation improves so that I can go back. But the situation has not improved clearly. Then what does the Lieutenant Governor do? He basically he gives an ultimatum that, look, we're not going to be paying you salaries. If you don't do any work, you won't get it. You won't get paid. It's the kind of heartless thing to say to a community that has suffered so much over the years.
No, so what would you suggest? What would, if there was an issue, it's very easy to be in the, now 1 minute, Sanju Verma, what would you, Sanju Verma, audio down, what would you suggest, Salman Sood?
My suggestion is, first of all, the Lieutenant Governor, and by the way, there's another grievance that the community has about remarks by the Lieutenant Governor, where apparently he told them that they should not be begging. Now, those are not the kinds of words that the Lieutenant Governor should be using against a community that is suffering. An immediate thing that they can do is to release the salaries to these employees who are in Jammu right now, who are not able to go to Srinagar because it has not been safe for them. And then the government has to come and have a dialogue with them and try and understand how safety and security can be ensured to the satisfaction of the Kashmiri Pandit community, especially those government employees who are posted in Kashmir. Until and unless that happens, how can you tell them to go and start working? And how dare the government keep their salaries from being paid?
Can I just get in my while the politicians claim we will continue to raise the temperature, the fact is, Sushant Dhar, since when have many Kashmiri Pandit government employees not got their salaries? The government says if you don't work, you won't get a salary.
See, the government must take into account that more than 25 Hindus have been killed in Kashmir for the past 2 years, which includes 5 government employees who were killed right at their working places. That includes 2 government employees from Prime Minister's Rehabilitation Package scheme. So it's our request to the government to take this issue with sensitivity and empathy.
So you're saying I will give
employees to join back.
I will
give normalcy in mainland India.
Sure, Sanju Verma, I'll give you 30 seconds, and I mean 30 seconds. Empathy is a word missing. You see, you can't tell the government employees, why are you begging? You can't tell the government employees come back to work despite without alleviating their sense of fear. Someone has to show empathy. थोड़ा हमदर्दी दिखानी पड़ेगी संजू वर्मा जी, थोड़ी हमदर्दी. चुनाव के टाइम पे everybody wants Kashmiri Pandits votes.
May I? Rajdeep, what I fail to understand है आप कभी सुधरोगे नहीं. आपको
मैं बिल्कुल नहीं सुधरता.
responsibility कि आप मुझसे सवाल पूछो. आप तो सवाल पूछना कम और यहाँ पर बैठकर कांग्रेस की पहरेदारी कर रहे हो.
मैं किसी की पहरेदारी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैडम. You must stop this. You must stop this. This is absolute rubbish. You come on my show, make these stupid statements.
You stop putting words into
I asked you a simple question. You don't answer it. Where is the empathy? Where is the empathy?
Can I answer?
Yes. 30 seconds.
I don't need a bhashan or empathy from you. Who are the people who are giving a bhashan on empathy today to Sanju Verma and to the BJP? People who said that Kashmir files is a propaganda movie. And these are people who are not genocide deniers. I call them genocide enablers. Now let me come to the moot point. You ask me, what have we done? When you say we, I mean the BJP for Kashmiri Pandits. 80,000 crore development package announced by Modi government in 2015. More than 77% of that has been implemented. More than 4 lakh Kashmiris have been given domicile certificates. More than 3 lakh Kashmiris today get the benefits of the 7th pay commission. More than 6,000 Kashmiri Pandits have been given government jobs, and 20,000 more government jobs have been advertised for.
Ma'am, the Prime Minister's special package for Kashmiri Pandits created 6,000 jobs. Some of them were announced when Manmohan Singh was PM.
30 seconds without you interrupting.
Yes.
I want to simply ask you to ask one question to the Congress panelists. I'm not interested in a tutu manner.
Right, tell me.
Will he today on Rajdeep Sardesai show, Salman Sooz's father, Saifuddin Sooz, in 2018 said Kashmiris would be happier being independent. Basically, he was calling for further balkanization of India.
Okay,
and you sit here and tell me that Rahul Gandhi to Kashmiriyon ke liye bahut kuch kar rahe hain.
Okay, you made your point. Let him answer. Let him answer now.
Let me.
Salman Soz, Salman Soz, does the Congress, what is the Congress's view on Kashmir?
Do you condemn rabid Islamists?
You condemn rabid Islamists, Salman Soz. Okay, volume down. Do you condemn rabid Islamists who target Kashmiri Pandits? Yes or no?
I don't.
Yes or no?
Anybody who targets Kashmiri Pandits, of course you condemn. Rajdeep, what kind of a question is this? Anybody who targets Kashmiri Pandits or anybody else, of course they deserve our scorn. I don't want to get into Sanju Verma's politics. Her politics is Ghatia politics. I'm here to talk about Kashmiri Pandits, the protesting Kashmiri Pandits who deserve a life of dignity and security.
Okay.
And that is not being provided by the government. Let me just add here, and you alluded to this, Rajdeep, that the Kashmiri Pandit rehabilitation packages that were started by Dr. Manmohan Singh, that's the blueprint. There's nothing new from this government.
Okay.
Now, one thing they could have done is if during this time, when there were these 20 plus killings, by the way, during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time, if I'm not mistaken, in his 10 years, there was perhaps 1 killing. And even that is too much. But in the last couple of years, more than 20 killings have taken place. That means it is natural to be fearful. It is natural to be scared. So in this time, you cannot tell people, if you do not work, you will not get paid. This is a time when you go and say, support them and say, we will pay you, your jobs are safe, don't worry, we'll try and figure out a way in which you will be safe in Kashmir.
Okay,
and we'll talk about it. And only when you're satisfied, then you will go to Kashmir.
Okay, I've heard both of you. As I said, the one thing sometimes that has been missing in the past is empathy. What the Kashmiri Pandits, many of whom have not got their salaries for months on end, are looking for is not just security, but empathy. I want to leave it there, ma'am. I have run out of time. I will surely have you on another show at another time. I appreciate your joining us. Now you know why my hair has turned grey.